Right, so if you travel in similar political circles to myself, the what has Labour become, the oh god, the red Tories are back in charge, the is there anything they won't copy the Tories over, or is anyone allowed an independent thought anymore without fear of being purged, are thoughts that are likely to have crossed your mind, or something similar to that. Won't somebody get him out? People think of Starmer. Well, there might be an opportunity here. Your opinion of Keir Starmer's leadership, or what passes for it, the Blair and Mandelson leadership more like it, that's really the case, isn't it? With one operating Starmer's body and the other with a peg on their nose providing the voice. That's going to be what you're thinking is going on here, and your opinion of Starmer is going to be a pretty low one to boot. Starmer has decimated the Labour membership. He has driven local Labour parties past the point of collapse, backing the Tories over their pandemic response, encouraged them to go harder on it, just as he is apparently now urging the Tories to go further and harder over benefit reforms set to strip people found fit to work of free healthcare, as those plans involve. On the matter of Israel and Gaza, Starmer is copying US foreign policy just like the Tories are, backing humanitarian pauses so people can have a sip of water before they get shot instead of a proper ceasefire, as the majority of this country want. Getting the Tories out is one thing. They've had their day. They're out of control. We know this. But Keir Starmer, policy-wise, is just going to pick up where they leave off, and nothing's going to end up changing. Well, there is one way to change that, but it involves using our power, the power of our vote, to get him out, to beat him in the general election so he loses his seat, because without him, someone else will have to lead the Labour Party. Could you be that person? Because if you think you are, OCISA are at your disposal right now to get you elected and get Starmer out. Right, so OCISA, the Organise Corbyn-inspired Socialist Alliance. When you spell the acronym out, you can see exactly what they're about. It says exactly what it is right on the tin, doesn't it? And where they've come from. And has been set up specifically with one aim in mind, to take down Keir Starmer at the next general election, to take him out specifically. They're not a political party, and they do not want to be one. They are just organising to remove one of the most dangerous and toxic politicians we have, to remove at the next general election arguably the biggest political barrier to change we currently have in this country. Because right now, under his leadership, Labour are absolutely no different to the Tories, and the only way that would change in government is for him specifically to lose his seat. And as such, today, OCISA put out a press release which absolutely warrants coverage, because they have now reached the point where they are looking for their candidate to stand against Starmer. And if you think you would like a tilt at this, if you think you're the right person to go head to head with the brylcreemed one himself, then you need to hear this. OCISA's statement reads, "An effort to change British politics enters its final phase. OCISA will be advertising for a democratic, progressive and community-focused candidate to stand against Sir Keir Starmer in Holborn St Pancras at the general election." For 9 months, OCISA has been surveying the electorate in Holborn St Pancras. The overwhelming opinion is voters feel excluded from the electoral process. 50% want more face-to-face access with an MP who listens and prioritises their concerns. The candidate selection process will be open and democratic. Several people have made it known they are interested, but applications are sought from anybody with a commitment to representing their community, regardless of their previous political experience. Holborn St Pancras is one of the most diverse areas in the country. The electorate is mostly under 40, cosmopolitan and progressively minded. OCISA hopes to find a candidate who can represent their ideals, aspirations and demands. OCISA wishes to make clear that the UK has a representative parliamentary democracy and that a political party may win a majority in Parliament without their leader in place. The UK does not have a presidential national election between leaders of the two main parties. The electorate has real political power in their hands if they use it locally to choose an individual to represent them, rather than accepting that politics only happens at the national party level, where they are entirely powerless. OCISA is not a political party and has no intention of becoming one. It solely exists to choose a candidate and provide them with campaign funds and advice from experienced organisers. Advertisements will be going out to a range of publications in print or online. Applications should be sent to ocisacampaigns@gmail.com with a CV and an explanation of what you can bring to the role. Deadline for applications is December 11th, 2023. A shortlist of potential candidates will be chosen by a selection panel elected from and by the membership of OCISA, with diversity requirements and a built-in bias towards residents in the constituency. The final choice from the shortlist will be by a democratic vote of all OCISA members. To find out more and join OCISA and take part in the selection process, or to donate to the campaign fund, go to ocisa.org.uk. So basically, if you think you're the right person to take on Keir Starmer, if you have a desire to bring him down and force a likely incoming Labour government to pick a new leader, because the one they've got is such an existential threat to meaningful change in this country, who will carry on doing what the Tories are doing now, as if they're still in charge, who will run the country like he does, his party, like a regime, and will continue to take his orders from the US on the international stage, and as we continue to watch the atrocities in the Middle East be always on the side of Israel, then you've got a golden opportunity in front of you right now to show the country basically what you're made of. The campaign funding will all be there, raised by people the country over who recognise how dangerous a country led by Keir Starmer could be, ably assisted by a great many OCISA members, not just based in London, but all over the country, who will descend on Holborn and St Pancras to campaign for you come the time, and with you as well. So many of them disaffected Labour members who Starmer has driven away. A wealth of experience amongst them, a ready-made campaign team of experienced organisers and campaigners. This is a lottery win of an opportunity for a parliamentary candidate. So I don't think you need worry about those basic necessities that so many of us couldn't dream to put together without party backing, because they're there already. I have never known a single MP like this upset local people to the point an organisation like OCISA comes into being to directly oppose them and only them. That being their very reason for being, let alone being able to raise all the funds needed to do so. All they need from you is your sales pitch to them. Do you think you can beat Keir Starmer on the campaign trail with the right backing? Do you think you can appeal to those constituents of his that are disgusted by him to back you to be the take Keir Starmer down candidate? Do you have the values that a Labour Party should have, so that some semblance of democratic socialism representation in Parliament returns? Get in touch with them. I'll repeat all the contact details at the very end. I'll post them. So that's the closing screen to this video, in case you didn't catch them a moment ago. Because if you've ever fancied being an MP, independent, not really knowing how to do it, and you're disgusted by this bloke, that OCISA have grown to the point everything they set out to do is possible. They just need you now to step up and be their candidate. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Please like, share and subscribe if you did. More content out daily. Please have your say on this in the comments below and be part of the conversation. Meanwhile, here's a video recommendation where Starmer really does feel that driving members away is the way to win an election. Except many of those members have turned into OCISA. And I'll hopefully catch you on the next vid. Cheers, folks.